Welcome to episode 93.
Hey, this is John Lee Dumas of EO Fire, and you're listening to Who Did That Voice, where we take an in-depth look at voiceovers.
Ready to take a vacay, but you just don't have the time to plan? Let the agents at 3D Travel Company pamper you and take care of all the little details. Find us at www.whodidthatvoice.co and click the Book Now button on the left-hand side. For a limited time, Who Did That Voice listeners can receive a Disney gift card for qualifying Disney and Universal trips, booked and traveled by 2017. Hurry and book today so you can travel away.
Merry Christmas and welcome to Who Did That Voice, the show where we take an in-depth look at voiceover. And now, here's your host, Trenton Larkin.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the show. I hope everyone had a very happy Thanksgiving, lots of great foods, and wonderful time with family and loved ones. Today's special guest is an actress who has voiced Rosie, a warthog type character from the animated film called The Wildlife. She's also played Weecha the raccoon from a film that came out this July called Son of Bigfoot. I hope you guys all enjoyed today's episode. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Who Did That Voice. Today on the show I have Laila Berzins joining me. Laila, thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Well, it's my pleasure to have you. You know, I've always started off asking my actors or special guests that come on the show to tell us a little bit about themselves. Who was Laila growing up, the young girl that became the woman in voiceover and acting?
Well, it all started back in 1983. No, that's a good question. I have kind of an interesting story. I'm grew up in West Hartford, Connecticut. I survived being the daughter of two psychologists, which just made me very aware of myself, my strengths and my weaknesses, and also get in touch with my emotions. But no, I kind of grew up I was like a human television set. I just always singing, always reciting commercials. In elementary school, I was singing the Alka-Seltzer song and the Magic Potty Baby commercial to my friends. You know, I was the type of kid who obnoxiously knew all the lines to The Lion King and had no shame in saying it. You know, when I had the chicken pox, I made up a song about it. I mean, literally, I'd make a song about everything. I kind of, you know, I was always trying to get the lead in plays in school, and I played piano, and I also sang in a lot of choruses. So pretty much entertainment was a huge part of my life, and also kind of my therapy. Because I was kind of what I would describe as a shy, outgoing person. Like I could be very zany one second, but if you cut me in the cafeteria line, I couldn't say anything. I wasn't self-confident. But through acting, it was my outlet to, you know, explore sides of my personality I normally couldn't. So yeah, I grew up in Connecticut with a sister who's 2 years younger than me, and I'm 33 now, so you do the math, honey. I don't remember my 20s. That's how you know they were good years. But yeah, that's pretty much the story of me growing up. I went to the University of Connecticut and studied communications, and I thought I was going to work in some form of children's programming, and then I didn't, realize until many years later that I could actually work in voiceover, that this was something you could study and do. So I hope that gives you kind of in a nutshell.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate you kind of diving into your background and kind of how, Laila became the woman she is now in acting and voice acting. As far as acting goes and voice acting more so, we kind of got the background on your acting, theater and different things, trying to be in different productions. But what kind of led you to really initially get into voiceover?
Well, two things. One was Mrs. Doubtfire. That was Robin Williams is my reason for being. When people ask me what's your inspiration, I say he is my muse. He is. I have always aspired to be 1/10 of a shred as talented as him, like a female Robin Williams. I always felt like he was my spirit animal. He was my person I connected with. Mrs. Doubtfire and the genie in Aladdin changed my life. And again, I didn't know until about 2007, after graduating from college and doing some survival jobs, through a friend of my mom's who worked in radio that I could study voiceover. So I started schlepping into New York on the weekends to Edge Studios in New York, and then training with different coaches, and eventually started training with coaches in different areas at different organizations,
Yeah.
individuals, and slowly started putting together my demos. I should have started with my commercial demo, but I was kind of I had been working on ideas for my character demo since God knows when. When I was working at the Disney College program, working on the trains at the Magic Kingdom, I was still writing ideas. I had 52 characters I wanted to do, and I had to narrow it down from that to 7. So,
Wow.
so it's like all the voices in my head, they came out to play. But it was really inspiring and exciting, and the first couple of years were obviously the most challenging. I had so much to learn, and I still have a lot to learn. I've been doing this for 9 years now, but that's pretty much it. I started doing that, and when I was doing my day jobs, I was listening to voiceover podcasts during my break. I would go home and go on LinkedIn and try to make connections that way, because in the beginning, I didn't really have any way of getting work other than checking out pay to play sites like voices.com and voice123, and I would spend hours on LinkedIn just trying to connect with folks.
Absolutely. Well, networking is a huge thing, and I have learned that through the course of doing my podcast that networking is huge. But you speak of Robin Williams, and I think it's so fascinating that he was your inspiration, because I love Robin Williams, and just the impact and the legacy that he left on us was insanely amazing. And I believe, I'm not sure if you're able to talk about it, but I know there was a project you worked on or are working on that is an Aladdin project, I believe, where you're a narrator. Is that correct?
Yes, this was a really exciting project. It's the Disney Central podcast. It is out, so anyone can listen to it. It's on the App Store. You can just type in Disney Central podcast. But I got an audition for the narrator for the storybook version of Aladdin. So what they do is they have all these podcast versions of the story where the idea is obviously to have the kids listening with bated breath to all the excitement and
Yeah.
kinetic energy of everything that's happening. And the specs for the project were male, 30 to 50, no regional accent. And when I got this from the casting director, I said, can I submit for this? And he said, sure, you know what, surprise them. And so I did, and I read as the different characters. It was kind of like Jafar light and Jasmine light, so they didn't want the full-on accents, but it would be, like, at last, after all these years of searching the cave of wonders, and they were like, okay, take out the accent, or I'd be so I sent it in, and then I found out that when they heard my audition, they changed the specs to a female, and I was overjoyed, because it's my favorite story of all time. So then I got to spend a couple hours recording the story, and it's about 14 or 16 minutes long. It's a really fun little bit, and it was one of the most fun projects I got to do. It was my first Disney job, so
Well, that
yay!
is super fantastic. Yeah, I mean, working with Disney is just an out of this world experience from everything I've heard from other actors in the past. And it's just fascinating that since Robin Williams was such an inspiration to you, that you were able to be a part of that Aladdin legacy through Disney. So that's fantastic. And that they didn't stick to there has to be a guy for the narrator, that they were flexible and, you know, kept an open mind, which I love. I love that they did that.
It was a nice surprise, and I have to tell you, I did get very emotional at the end, because when you're saying goodbye to the genie, and I had to narrate that part when the genie gets free, and I was like, hold on, you guys, hold on a second, I need a moment. It was a lot of fun, and then sometimes after sessions, I like to serenade my casting director, and I happen to have a parody song called ADD to the tune of Prince Ali. So, so I put that on and sang that for them afterwards, and I was like, this is something to remember me by.
That is funny. That is absolutely funny. Well, Laila, I want to talk about the project that came out last September, I believe it was. It's called The Wildlife, and you played a character named Rosie. Tell us a little bit about that movie that released in theaters back in September, and who was Rosie? What kind of a character was she?
Oh, sure. So Rosie Well, the story of the casting, I should back up slightly. I was reading the original name of this project was called Tuesday's Tale. It was supposed to be focused on a parrot and their vantage point of meeting Robinson Crusoe on a deserted island and kind of their friendship. And I was reading for the bird, and it wasn't really in my register, and I was like, oh, I'm not really feeling this. And the casting director said, hey, we have this other part for you. It's this very sassy kind of tapir. And for those who are not familiar, a tapir is a kind of a cross between a warthog and an anteater. Has the body of a warthog and the nose of an anteater, and she kind of looks like a female Pumbaa, but without the tusks. And so when I said, oh yeah, I can do sassy. So they just had me read a couple lines, and I was like, he said, "Boot, you old coot." Oh yeah, that's great. Listen to the human. And I just did a couple things and improved, and then I found out that I booked the role. And it was a really cool project. It was my first animated feature through N-Wave Pictures and Studio Canal out in Belgium. So what they do is they produce it for the European market, and then they release it in the U.S. And it was done through Lionsgate. The company who created it is Illuminata Pictures. Not Illuminati, but Illuminata. Very important. And Rosie is kind of, she provides a lot of comic relief in the movie. She's a very large and in charge personality. In pretty much every scene she's eating. So yes, I really love her. She an interesting fact about her, although they don't really address it in the movie. The subtext is she has an armadillo boyfriend. So Pango in the movie is technically her boyfriend. Go figure. But yes, she has an armadillo boyfriend, and at one point, Scrubby the goat, when he gets his glasses, hits on her a little bit. He's like, "Oh, you're gorgeous." So she does all right with the fellas.
And speaking of that project, thank you so much for sharing about the wildlife. I know there's another movie going to be coming out called The Son of Bigfoot. Tell us about your characters on that. You play Weecha the raccoon and a 911 operator.
Yeah, so The Son of Bigfoot, and I don't want to give too much away, but it's kind of a coming-of-age story about, as you can guess, the son of Bigfoot, a teen boy who discovers that his father is Bigfoot, and that's all I'm going to say because I don't want to spoil the drama and excitement. But it releases late summer in France, Belgium, Germany, Australia, and New Zealand, and then we don't know yet when it's releasing in the U.S.
But Weecha the raccoon is kind of like Babs the Gangster's Mall on what's that? Give my regards to Broadway back when I did that. She's just kind of like very. I like my boyfriend's so brave and strong.
Just another kind of sassy, humorous character that provides some comic relief. And obviously the 911 operator was more of just a straight role of 911, sir. There's no such thing as Bigfoot, that sort of thing. So oftentimes when you're hired for an animated movie or show, they'll hire you for a few different roles, and that's kind of what I've been doing. And both of these movies were done at Salami Studios in North Hollywood, which is also where they've done countless other shows. Scooby-Doo. They've done Bravest Warriors. They do, I think, the Wabbit show, the new Looney Tunes show. They do it there. Yeah. So there's a lot of history there, and that's just to name a few. And it's just a blast to go in there. And yes, they do have salami sometimes at Salami Studios. They always have a really nice spread and just wonderful people.
That's awesome.
So I'm really excited to see when this movie comes out. And if you just type in Son of Bigfoot on Google or YouTube, you can find a little trailer for it.
Well, Weecha kind of sounds like she has a little bit of a Brooklyn accent.
A little bit, I like to do. I've had a lot of characters that have some sort of a Brooklyn or Bronx feel. I don't know. I just like that. Like sometimes I have this guy named Larry. I use him from time to time for auditions and whatnot. He's kind of like, hey, what's up? Hey, I'm gonna endorse Green Diamond Almond. Green Diamond Almond. Swish it around your mouth. Get the taste of stale beer out of there. Oh yeah. There's a lot of different ones.
That's funny. I love it. Well, not only have you been a part of some amazing projects in the animation side as well as the podcasting side, but you've also been a part of an online game called Star Trek Online. What was it like to be a part of that amazing show, or not show, but game? And I believe you played several different characters on that project, actually.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. That project, most notable character I played is Belair. She is a Klingon scientist, and is also she's a researcher working out of Ganalda Station. She is the mate of Travana, who is a female Klingon officer serving the House of Treg. So it's an all-inclusive, kind of game. And a little info, and this is just straight off of the Star Trek Online Gamepedia.com, but Belair's mother was a servant of the House of Dagor before it fell. She doesn't know or care who her father was, and she served above the IKS Azetbor for about 1 year, but disliked life on a warship and disliked her commanding officer even more. So this is when she met Kamen, who later helped her get her current position at Ganalda. And her role is to study weapons, study the captured weapons and technology on behalf of the Klingon Empire. And what I really like about Belair is she talks with a marionette mouth because of her teeth. We have to get out of here, we have to get to the reactor. Taking the time to destabilize the molecules would put the team in danger. You insult my honor! That kind of a role. She's very fun, very and as a Klingon, very scientific and precise with everything she says. I've also had the pleasure of voicing Temet, an Orion captain, sphere builder, and Dana Brot. I hope I pronounced it Dana Brot. I have 2 N's on that, so I believe it's Dana Brot. And there's been some more coming up. But yeah, it's a very, very fun project. Done through Cryptic Studios, and the director was Lonnie Manella of AudioGods.com. That's with Audio Gods with a Z. She is a really amazing director who I've worked on a few things with, like Tai Chi Panda 2, Neverwinter, and Heroes of New Earth. So I'm very grateful for connecting with her, and yeah, it's just fun times all around.
Daniel, yeah, and I was like, I know that name, and I was like, oh, Daniel Ross talked about her a lot. He was in Neverwinter and all those projects too. So, Lonnie Manella, yeah, absolutely, that's fantastic. Well, what are some of the other different types of voiceover projects that you have worked on besides animation, podcasting, and online gaming?
Sure. Well, some of the projects that are going on right now on TV, there are 2 national commercials for Nature Valley.
Oh, wow.
So if you see, there's an oats and honey and a sweet and salty dreams come true one, and it's basically just, it's a sweet and salty dream come true. Ooh, right on, Nature Valley, and things like that. It's again very similar to the Rosie character. It's just my sassy, take. So that's airing right now. I've also done 2 promos, online promos for the movie Hidden Figures. If you type in Google Expeditions Hidden Figures on YouTube or on Google, obviously, you can see the trailer, the promo for the movie, kind of celebrating, the women involved and their contributions to NASA and to the space exploration. And I also recently did 4 national radio spots for Target, kind of seasonal Target ads about working somewhere that you love, and if you like great hours and competitive pay, check out your local Target store and tell a friend. Very kind of real person read. And I did let's see, narration for Wetland Whiskey, which I'm going to have a video for soon on my Vimeo page. An internal narration for Nike, which was cool.
Nice.
And then on Netflix, I dubbed, there's a Mexican drama, very juicy drama, lots of fun cliffhangers. It's called Ingobernable, which translates to ungovernable. And I play Dr. Patricia Lieberman, who is the woman mainly investigating a scandal that's going on involving a murder. But that's all I'm going to say, because I don't want to ruin it for those who might want to watch. But yes, she's a very no-nonsense character. Just wants the facts, and everybody keeps getting in her way, and she doesn't like that. But I do enjoy wearing the nice business suit, and
That's awesome. Well, Laila, do you have any current projects that you're working on that we haven't discussed so far that you'd like to share with us today?
Sure. So I'm in a couple really fun animation projects right now. For those who enjoy anime, I'm on Hunter x Hunter on Adult Swim,
Oh,
and I
nice.
play Miluki, the assassin, a hacker assassin, and he sounds like, "But Master Zenu, he isn't even the least bit sorry, not one bit. How about it, Kill? Should I have Mama have the three of them?" And then there's another show on Netflix called Snakes and Gumballs, which is hard to explain. The snakes are these kind of gross, lazy creatures that live in the junkyard. And the Gumballs are these sweet, stretchy, Gumby-like creatures that eat grubs and are always kind of at odds with the snakes. The snakes are always trying to capture them and stick them in cans and make them do work for them in the mattress mines, because the snakes eat moldy mattress stuffing. It is their favorite thing. The moldier, the better. And in that show, I play Snorg. It's just also kind of, you're hearing, it's sort of like a Bronx character as well. She's one of the laziest of snakes, not very bright. And Snorg and Glob are very good friends. I really enjoy that show. So it was originally done in the UK, and they have a version of it that was done in American English. And some of the actors from Harry Potter, I guess, were in the original in the UK, including Weathersnake. I don't have the names, but you can check it out online. And then the last thing is on YouTube right now. I'm part of a show called The Grocery Gang. It's spelled gross, like Grossery, because it's a very kind of I don't know how to describe it. It's a little raunchy, it's a little funky. It is kid appropriate, but it's got some really funny humor. And on that, I play Doc Brock, who is kind of the leader of the gang. It's a piece of broccoli, Sparkle Soda, and then a whole bunch of incidentals. And Doc Brock kind of sounds like this. "Oh no, Mija the pirate is on the attack. And Sparkle Soda's all up here, like, oh, we're gonna fix your head." And
Oh, wow.
then just a whole bunch of really fun characters, monsters, and other things that you'll see soon. And we have some amazing people on that show: Nicholas Roy, Sean Spicer, Alexander Ryan, and the newest addition is Kyle Hebert, who most people know as Gohan in Dragon Ball Z. He plays a whole bunch of incidentals on that as well. And actually, when I'm done with this interview, I'm going to be heading over to do this more of the Grocery Gang.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and lots of video games, but they have not released yet, so I cannot mention.
Oh, I understand NDA, but it's awesome to hear these different character voices you've kind of just busted into a little bit for us. There's such a diversity between all of them. Some that are definitely in the higher pitch, some in the lower pitch, and a variety between some that sound more masculine and more feminine. And I love the versatility that you have in your voice. It's amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're very welcome. Well, I just have two final questions for you today, Laila. And the first one is, how can people reach out to you social media wise? Maybe someone has questions, or maybe someone's even looking to hire you for a voiceover project.
Sure. Well, my website is lilaberzins.com, and I will spell that because it's not the typical spelling. It's great when telemarketers call, because they say, "Is Laila here?" And I say, "There's no one here by that name." The website is LAILA, B like boy, ERZ like zebra, N as in Nancy, S as in Sam. So lilaberzins.com, and that's going to have a whole new look shortly. It's under revision. You can find me on Facebook. It's Laila.Berzins voiceovers, and on Twitter it's LBerzins_voices, and on YouTube Laila Berzins VO, and LinkedIn just search for Laila Berzins. Can't miss me. Not too many of us. And I did want to do a shout out though to Roy Yokelson of Antland Productions. He has done all of my demos, and he has been an incredible mentor and friend. And if anybody is looking for additional guidance or demos, or just needs some audio help, I highly recommend him. His website is antlandproductions.com, which sounds it's spelled just how it sounds, ANT, like ant land Productions, antlandproductions.com. That is all.
Yes, good old Uncle Roy had him on the show. I think it was end of last year, and that was a real pleasure as well. A real honor to have him on, and he's such a talented man. But Laila, the last question I have for you today is, what is the legacy that you want to leave behind?
Wow, that is a... Whew. I knew you were going to throw me for a loop here. I think more than anything, I want to leave a legacy of somebody who put in their heart and soul into every project, and really just I want to be seen as a strong actor, and as somebody with a great range, but that also can learn and grow from my experiences, and that's kind of essentially what I really want to be, to grow more as a name in the world of animation. And I have a secret dream also, which is to voice movie trailers. We'll see, but
nice.
But that is my biggest thing, is to really just more and more animation, and leave a legacy of an amazing animation career of male, female, creature, animal voices. The sky's the limit. I really love challenging myself, and it's my favorite thing in the world to do.
Maybe you'll be on Zootopia too.
I can dream.
Hey, you never know. That's where it starts. It starts with a dream, and then you go from there. So, well, Laila, it has been an absolute honor and pleasure having you on the show today. Would you please give us a special closeout as we wrap up today's episode?
Hi, this is Laila Berzins, and you're listening to Who Did That Voice? And now, something special. At the tone, please record your voice message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press pound for more options. Beep.
Peter, I'm holding iced tea.
Yeah, you holding iced tea?
Peter, I'm holding iced tea.
Yeah, you holding iced tea? So how's that novel you've been working on?
Oh my God, they killed Kenny. Oh my God, they killed Kenny. No, he's not dead, you guys. Let me just poke him. He's not dead. Let me just poke him.
You want some cheesy poofs? You can have an eensy-weensy bit, can't you? Just a weensy-eensy woo-woo.
That's it. That's the tune of Funky Town. Don't you want to get high?
Hey, fish. Hey, fish.
My mom says you left a box of wine. Homer, were you up all night eating cheese?
64 slices of American cheese. Oh. Hi, ho, Kermit the Frog here. Hi, ho, Kermit the Frog here.
Oh yeah, oh baby. Oh yeah, oh baby.
Brittany, where is my bra? Brittany, give me back my bra. Filthy Herbert says he ruins it. Where are my pants? I cannot find my pants. Hey, what's it to you, pal?
Elmo loves you. Elmo loves you. How in the world does this conflamed thing? Beep.
Well, everyone, I sure hope you enjoyed today's episode with Laila Berzins, the voice of so many amazing characters and so many yet to come. And if you did, please find me on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram by searching Who Did That Voice. I would love to hear from you. You know, a question you might ask yourself is, where can I listen to Who Did That Voice? That's an excellent question. You can hear us on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, TuneIn Radio, YouTube, and our website at www.whodidthatvoice.co. Click the Episodes tab and listen away. Well, everyone, that's all the time we have for this episode. Join us next time for our special guest, Pierre Mauboucher, all the way from Paris, France. You won't want to miss this episode. Hey, do you ask yourself who did that voice? Well, if you do, go to our website, www.whodidthatvoice.co, and click on the Episodes tab. Choose an actor, pick their name, and see pictures from the different characters they've voiced in their career.
Thank you for joining us today. We'll see you next time for more discoveries on Who Did That Voice.